Hi, Phumi. Thank you for joining me. I was so happy to discover your website, HolisticaliMe.com. You are a phenomenal intuitive healer. You share so many valuable trauma support resources. Your extensive research and the powerful holistic therapeutic practices you share, like somatic experiencing, vagal toning, yoga, biohacking, and more, have really changed the game for me. You specialize in helping those healing from CPTSD, trauma, and narcissistic abuse. It can be so challenging finding qualified, truly trauma-informed mentors like yourself, so your work is a breath of fresh air. What does a one-on-one coaching session between you and a new client look like?
Thank you so much for having me, Oli. I like to start my sessions by bringing the subconscious into the conscious by asking you to let me know why you've been led to book a healing session with me. And based on the way you describe what happened and how you feel while telling the story, I intuitively gauge how best to support you. I rely on somatic experiencing, which is the belief that negative experiences and emotions are stored in the body as well as the brain. I base my recommendations, which are intuitively led, by listening to how you tell your story and focusing on the sensations felt in your body as you speak of the trauma. Thereafter begins the actual healing, where I will ask you to lie down and close your eyes while I take you through a somatic healing that you perform on yourself with my guidance. Or I provide you with a guided meditation so that we tap into any energetic or subconscious blocks. This is a great way to regulate your nervous system after you've just had to speak about the terrible things that have happened to you. The session then includes other body work and breath work exercises based on your personal story and circumstance. This can range from self-massage techniques, somatic techniques such as TRE, which is trauma releasing exercises, alternate nostril breathing, for example, de-armoring for anyone struggling with sexual trauma, and energetic healing techniques, which involves a lot of visualization and connecting with your inner child. Some people cry and have major breakthroughs during the sessions. For others, the release comes after the call.
You have first-hand experience healing yourself, and now you use it to support others. As you know, finding the willpower to take charge of your life is a major milestone when overcoming narcissistic abuse. Victims can lose their self-esteem and entire identity, and typically don't even believe or admit to themselves they're in a compromising situation, let alone possess the proper resources to move on. In my experience, knowledge is the first step to freedom. What was the catalyst to your awakening and starting your own healing journey?
Oh goodness, well, as with most people, pain was the catalyst to my awakening. For me, my deepest pain is the rejection I have always felt from my mother. Throughout my life, I never felt loved by her, and she confirmed this to me in the months leading up to my wedding and during my wedding ceremony. In other words, she made what was supposed to be the happiest time of my life the worst time of my life, and instead of being able to welcome and celebrate my newfound love, she ruined my day and broke my heart for the last time. My advice to anyone is never tell your abuser what will hurt you the most, because they will do exactly the thing that you mention and they will get a thrill out of it. Realizing my mother found so much joy in causing me pain on such a large scale on a day that I could never get back and redo really broke me, and a few months afterwards I experienced my first panic attack and anxiety for the first time. I hadn't had good experiences with traditional doctors, and I didn't want to be recommended some magic pill, so I started researching how I could get rid of anxiety naturally, and this is what led me to my deep dive into holistic health and wellness.
I don't think we talk enough about scapegoating and other unhealthy group tactics. We humans have a historically toxic relationship to feeling shame and likewise to societal perfectionism. We often hurt each other before solving our actual issues. I think the majority of humanity is not even aware when they're reacting like this. Being the actual scapegoat is having uncomfortable emotions and so much projected onto you, it's like you end up holding other people's pain. Either you process it, or it can keep you stuck in fight, flight, freeze, and fawn mode. You say, get the issues out of your tissues. How can balancing the nervous system help us become aware of the emotional body and safely process these emotions? In other words, why should we get energy into motion?
I love this question because once you realize the power of a calm and regulated nervous system, it feels like you've cracked the code and it feels like you have some kind of superpower. It is vital that we get energy into motion because stuck energy or stuck negative emotions cause disease in the body. I personally don't think anything else causes sickness on this planet apart from negative emotions that haven't been addressed or released. Hence, as you say, my slogan on my website and on all my socials, let's get the issues out of your tissues. The body can carry pain for years without any major sign of discomfort until one day it can take no more and it screams at you through conditions like unbalanced hormones, anxiety, autoimmune conditions, or worst of all, a cancer diagnosis. So it's important to listen to your body while it still whispers. If you are feeling angered by something or someone, rather than pretending that it doesn't affect you, or rather than shaming yourself that anger is a bad emotion that you should not be feeling because of your religious background or because you want to be perceived in a certain way, let the anger out in a healthy way so that it does not consume you from the inside.
Can you tell us a little bit about TRE therapy, what it is, who it's most helpful for, and the steps of the practice?
TRE is a form of somatic experiencing, and in my opinion, the most powerful and the most fascinating. It stands for tension and trauma releasing exercise. Our bodies are always working for us and never against us. And you will see that whenever you try it out. TRE activates a natural reflex mechanism of shaking or vibrating that releases muscular tension, calming down your nervous system. Your body instinctively knows what to do and how to release the trauma, as long as you put it in the right position to do so. There is a video on my YouTube channel where I teach you how to do the most common TRE exercise, and I've had people message me from all over the world saying that they can't believe it actually works because it's so simple yet so effective, and you actually don't have to do much. You just lie down and follow 3 simple instructions and your body starts shaking the trauma and the tension away. So anyone who has suffered from the effects of PTSD or complex PTSD, in other words, if you've experienced childhood trauma, sexual trauma, betrayal trauma, or narcissistic abuse, it would be a great modality to add to your healing practices. So if you want to try it now while you're listening, this is what you're going to do. Lie down with your knees touching, and then you're going to slowly drop them to each side. Once you reach your maximum, you're going to slowly attempt to put your knees back together, but you will not put them all the way back together because your legs are going to start shaking. That's when you know the trauma is starting to release. It's possible that this could be trauma from years ago, even trauma from all the way back to your childhood. Our hips store negative emotion, and if your hips are super tight and if they're trembling, means that you're really going deep, and you should be really happy and proud of yourself.
Thank you again. Thank you for sharing all you share, for sharing your journey, and for helping so many people. Do you have any other encouraging words for our listeners?
Know that your life will not always be about healing and trauma. There will be a season where that's all you want to research and work on, but the day will come when your mind and your body are ready to enjoy life again. And I encourage you to give yourself permission to do so, because you deserve to love your life and you deserve to have a good time while you are still here. Also, try not to be in a rush to feel healed. And I put healed in quotation marks because how do we define healed? When we begin this work, we realize that we are not only healing the trauma of this lifetime, but also the trauma of our family lineage. Epigenetics explains how we all carry the trauma of our ancestors because trauma and its effects can be passed down through our genes. Also, on a spiritual level, we are healing from what has happened to us in past lives. But it's not all doom and gloom. On my TikTok page, you will see that I'm always dancing and showing you that you can release trauma in a fun and unserious way. Thanks again, Oli. It's been amazing chatting to you about the thing that I am most passionate about.